Hi, my name is Shelby if you are new here, and I'm already a mess. I've been out here getting some soil blocks started for the fall garden. As you can see, I've got a few trays back there, got a few more to fill up. We definitely need to act quickly when it comes to the fall garden because it is mid-August already. If you have not considered getting a fall garden started, this is your sign. This is the best time of the year to get a garden going. If you're in these warmer, harsher climates, such as zone 8 through 10, you are going to have a huge amount of time to take advantage of this long growing season with much more mild temperatures. In this video, I'm going to talk about what seeds you should be starting. We're going to get some soil blocks going, and we're going to get our fall garden started. It might be pumpkin spice season for everybody else, but for us down here, it is still crazy hot. So that is why we can get these super warm weather loving crops such as tomatoes started right now. Tomatoes are they are perfect for the fall season. You're going to have through September, October, November, at least 3 solid months of consistently warm temperatures before those tomatoes start to peter off. Sometimes even through December, I will have my tomatoes growing, or even through January. Of course, at a certain point, they stop producing flowers, but you're looking at 3 to 4 solid months to get the most out of your tomato plants. In addition to tomato plants, eggplants are absolutely fantastic to start this time of the year. Now, not many people or not many new gardeners might realize this, but eggplants do take a little bit longer than your average crop. Sometimes anywhere from 4 to 5 months to go from seed to harvest. Of course, there's times where it can start to flower and create eggplants before then, but they do take a little bit longer to come to maturity. When it comes to eggplants, the good thing is, even if you got them started now and you didn't get that abundant harvest that you were seeking in the fall garden, they can overwinter fantastically. Think of them almost as little miniature trees that can last 4 or 5 years even. Of course, every year they don't produce as much, but they will overwinter and they will handle any type of light frost, of course, cover them. And by the time your spring garden comes around, you've already got eggplants ready to go. On the very same note, you should be considering starting peppers. Oh my gosh, does a pepper love the fall garden? Now, just like eggplants, they are not just annual crops. They will last for years on end. Same thing where every year they're going to become less fruitful. However, the first 2-3 years, you're going to have a really decent and abundant harvest, and they will last through the winter time as long as you overwinter them properly. And I can make a video on how to do that. But if you start your pepper seeds now, you're definitely going to enjoy at least a few harvests before it gets to be too cold. Okay, I have one more tray done. I have 3 trays. I'm going to start 4 in all. I think that'll be enough because each one of these trays is 36 seeds, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so each one of these trays holds over 30 seeds. And if I have 4 started, that's a lot of seeds. On the note of extremely warm weather loving crops, you should consider starting okra if you enjoy eating okra. Now be warned, one okra plant is rather abundant. Now personally, I enjoy eating okra, but I don't need that much okra all the time. But my biggest motivator to growing okra is the absolutely stunning flowers that they produce. So if you've never grown okra, definitely, and you don't like the way they taste, but you have a small area of your garden, grow them at the very least for those beautiful flowers that they produce, because it's definitely something stunning to see with all those pollinators. Let's talk about some of the more standard crops that you will want to get started now. I would definitely add beans to your list, any kind of legume, whether that's a garbanzo bean, that's a garden bean, a pole bean, any type of bean, you can get started right now. Those would be direct sown seeds. I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting those seeds in these trays. Beans can handle the heat. They're going to do well with these temperatures still being in the upper 90 degrees, because by the time they start to hit maturity and start to produce those flowers, the temperatures are going to be cooling off. So if you want to direct seed sow beans right now, you can get that going. So some of the other crops I would recommend getting started now would be your brassicas, such as kale. I wouldn't start your broccoli and your cabbage and your cauliflower just yet. However, in my experience, I find that kale holds up very well to the heat if they are put in the right place in the garden. They're going to need a little bit of hand holding in the beginning because the temperatures are still really intense, but they do fare well in the heat from my personal experience. In addition to kale, which is a fantastic, I find, heat-loving crop, you can start your Swiss chard. Swiss chard thrives in the month of May, and I find that most of the months coming up here on out are going to be similar to the month of May, where the temperatures are very hot, but it's not excruciatingly difficult. So if you want to get some superfood greens such as kale and Swiss chard in, you can do that now. When it comes to spinach, I do find that spinach is very touchy, and they do prefer a little bit cooler temperatures, so I would hold off on spinach if you are considering doing that. Now when it comes to basil and cilantro, these are also going to fare really well this time of the year. There's two crops you need to put on your radar to get started now or start buying figuring out where you're going to get your seeds from. It's onions and garlic. Now, the reason I say these are time sensitive, where I'm pretty much like a go with the flow type gardener, I don't like to put a lot of timelines on things. That is the luxury we have in Florida. Things are a little bit more flexible. However, when it comes to onion and garlic, we do not have the opportunity to be flexible. So let's first talk about garlic. Now, when it comes to garlic, you need to go through a cold stratifying process, which is taking those individual little garlic bulbs that you would take from an entire head of garlic, and you are placing them. Oh my gosh, there's a snake right behind me. I'm gonna show you guys. We've had this snake living in the garden for a while now, and I'm always like wondering when I'm gonna see it. It lives in the banana tree. I'm gonna leave it alone. Anyways, what you'll want to do is start figuring out where you're going to get your garlic seeds from. It's important because they do require a cold stratification process, which means you're placing those garlic bulbs in the refrigerator for anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. The longer they're in the refrigerator, the better of an overall product you're going to have at the end of the day. Now, the thing with garlic is we're trying to trick the garlic into enjoying our environment by putting them in the refrigerator and telling them this is a nice cold place to thrive and live, because garlic wouldn't necessarily thrive in our super hot environment naturally. So we do have to trick garlic by placing them in the refrigerator, and that is going to take time. So I would order your garlic bulbs, whether that's from the grocery store. You can get organic garlic bulbs, and that's pretty comparable in price to buying them online if you don't want to order them or wait. Or you can purchase your garlic bulbs or seed, wherever they call it, online as well. So I'm actually probably just going to go to the grocery store and buy a few heads of organic garlic, throw them in the refrigerator, and then by October, I'm going to plant them out in the garden. But that is something you do need to get started now. If I told my son right now there was a snake out here, he would be so excited. I don't know if you guys can see him slithering on the ground right now. Okay, he's minding his own business. Anyways, the next crop that you definitely should get started now, because it is a time-sensitive situation, is onion. Now, our onions require short day variety onion seeds, and when you do look for short day variety onions, you're going to find that there's not nearly as many short day varieties as there are long day varieties. So there are more long day variety seed options. So you really need to pay attention to the seed that you're purchasing to make sure that it is a short day variety. I have purchased a few mixed packs on Amazon before, had a really great outcome. I've purchased some on Baker Creek, rareseeds.com, and I've also seen a few at the big box stores. However, I do find that they carry more long day varieties. Even in our hotter climates, they don't filter out which ones are appropriate for the hotter climates. The reason you must purchase the short day variety onion seeds versus the long day variety onion seeds is the short day varieties are going to require less photosynthesis to create that desired onion bulb, and the long day varieties require more photosynthesis because the days are longer up north when they are planting their seeds in the spring. So we've got to get ours started in the fall because it's so dang hot, and those onions are sensitive and they do not like the heat. And if they are exposed to lots of inconsistent temperatures, really hot days, they are going to put all their energy towards the green part, not the bulb, and they are going to go to seed and bolt really quickly. So if you get your onion seeds started anywhere from now through the first week of September, so you have about 2 weeks here now to hit that timing perfectly, and those seeds are started, plant them out by the first week of October, you have a really good recipe for success when it comes to growing onions in the state of Florida. A few other crops you can get started now is your corn and your beets and your carrots. Now up north, I'm sure they are wrapping up their corn harvest and their carrot harvest and their beet harvest. But down here, this is the time of the year where we'll want to get those seeds started because again, the bug pressure is less, the heat is not as intense, and we're going to be able to grow them with much more of an ease. Those particular crops are sensitive to dramatic heat that we experience here in the state of Florida, and you can wait till as late as the last week of August to get those seeds started. Some other crops you can consider starting would be your zucchini, any type of squash. You are still in a more vulnerable position when it comes to pest, but in the upcoming months, that pest pressure is going to start dying down. So if you are interested in starting your summer squash or winter squash even, you can do that now. Now, August is also a great time of the year to get your cucumber seeds started. I would recommend potentially waiting till the last week of August before getting those cucumber seeds started because the temperatures are still very intense and cucumbers go from seed to harvest very quickly. Most of the time, it only takes anywhere from 60 days or so for cucumber seeds to go from seed to harvest. So starting them prematurely too early will result in a vulnerable crop. So start putting them on your radar anywhere from this week or all through the end of August to get your cucumber seeds started. Some of the last crops I would consider getting started now would be your watermelon and your cantaloupe. Any of your melons are going to thrive in this hotter temperature. As you can see, I have been growing these watermelons and cantaloupes for the past 2 months, and they are doing fantastic. These would be the last few weeks I would recommend getting those seeds started to have an abundant harvest because they do thrive in warmer temperatures. They can take the beating of the heat. So this would be an excellent time to get your last opportunity in for watermelon and cantaloupe. This is a fantastic time to take advantage of the upcoming months and just really enjoy that garden bliss. Anywhere from now, I would say through the month of May is an amazing time of the year to garden in these warmer climates. So don't wait, get your garden started, and drop a comment below if there are any crops that I forgot to mention or that you love to grow this time of the year. I would love to hear from you guys. And until next time, bye.